In 1980, the median house in the United States cost about twice the average annual wage. Today, it costs more than 5 times. The bricks weigh the same. Labor and materials have risen. That is real, and it accounts for some of the increase, but not most of it. What changed most was the price of money, and who got access to it first. This is not a housing story. It is a monetary story, wearing a housing disguise. When central banks expand the money supply, the new money does not arrive everywhere at once. It enters the system at specific points, through bank lending, through bond markets, through financial institutions. The people closest to those entry points get access to cheap capital before prices have adjusted. They buy assets, property, equities, anything that holds value better than cash in an environment where cash is being quietly diluted. By the time the new money filters through to wages, prices have already moved. The worker who received a pay rise finds that the assets they might have bought with that pay rise have already repriced upward. The gap between those who owned assets before the expansion and those who did not widens with every cycle. This is the Cantillon Effect applied to housing, a predictable, structural consequence of how newly created money moves through an economy. The post-2008 economy has not recovered evenly. It has split into a K. The upper arm, asset owners, property holders, equity investors, has risen steadily. The S&P 500 total return from the March 2009 low to end of 2024 exceeds 500%. Property values in major cities have doubled and tripled. The lower arm has moved in the opposite direction. The top 10% of U.S. households now control just over 68% of total national wealth. The bottom 50% control 2.5%. Credit card balances hit a record $1.23 trillion in 2025, with delinquency rates running at levels last seen after 2008. Headline: GDP and equity market highs look healthy because they are driven by the upper arm. The aggregate obscures the divergence. The economy appears to be doing well. The majority of people living inside it do not feel that way. They are not wrong. They are just measuring the wrong arm. The honest defense of the existing system attributes housing unaffordability to zoning restrictions, planning bureaucracy, and geographic concentration of jobs. None of these are monetary, and all of them are real. What supply cannot explain on its own is why housing unaffordability moved in the same direction across virtually every developed economy simultaneously, regardless of their planning regimes. New Zealand's median house price ran from roughly 4 times income in 2000 to over 10 times by 2021. Sydney now sits at 13.8 times, the world's second least affordable major market. Vancouver and Toronto both crossed into double-digit price-to-income multiples over the same period. Canadian home prices grew by more than 130% from 1994 to 2024, while incomes lagged well behind. 5 countries, 5 different planning regimes, same direction of travel. The common variable is not zoning law, it is monetary policy. Where supply is tight, cheap money inflates prices faster. Where supply is loose, cheap money still inflates prices, just more slowly. The monetary environment sets the floor. Supply constraints determine how high above that floor prices go. In New Zealand, the Reserve Bank cut the official cash rate from 8.25% in 2008 to 0.25% in 2020. Property investors with existing equity could borrow at rates that made almost any purchase cash flow positive. First-time buyers faced the same prices with no existing equity to leverage. The asset inflated, the wage did not. The gap compounded. Housing is the most visible evidence of the Cantillon Effect in most people's daily lives. It is the asset class where the gap between those who got there first and those who did not is most personally felt. In rent paid to someone else, in a deposit that cannot keep pace with prices, in the quiet arithmetic of a purchase that recedes further every year. The system did not malfunction. It produced the outcome its incentive structure makes inevitable. Those closest to new money buy assets first. The rest of the economy reprices around them. The question is not why housing is unaffordable. The question is what kind of monetary system produces this outcome as its default, and whether anyone is asking. This is the Cantillon letter. Monetary truth. Understand it first. Subscribe and visit us at cantillonletter.substack.com.